Alright guys, welcome to the channel, and for hopefully most of you, welcome back. This is part 3 of our series of Craftsman, USAG, or USAG, that some of you guys are saying. Maybe there's a better way of pronouncing this. Feel free to put it in the comments below. But round 3, and this is going to be my final round for this. The ones I'm going to cover are these two, which are obviously the same manufacturer. Craftsman and USAG are part of Stanley Black & Decker, and as well as Mac, as well as some others. But we're going to take a look at DURATECH, who does not fall under this realm. And we're going to find out why I chose this one to be part of this series, because they're not the same. But are they? So let's take a look. We'll dive in here next. And if you guys haven't already, please like and please subscribe so you keep in on the latest content from this channel. Alright, so right out of the gate, you can buy this in SAE and in millimeter sets. This is going to be 11 piece for the SAE. It's going to be a 12 piece set for the millimeter set, and we'll open that up here in just a second. Part numbers are DT402, 002, and then if you want to have the millimeter set, it is just going to be 201 instead of the 202. So those are your part numbers. Now look at the sets. Obviously DURATECH Pro is the name of this. CRV steel, so they do use CRV steel in this. And they talk about their comfort I-beam handle as well as access offset ends. We will be talking about that. The magnetic setup on the back, you actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 magnets. You can stick this to your toolbox, and I did play around with it. It does work actually fairly well. They're not the best quality magnets by any shot, but when you have 6 of them, it actually holds to your toolbox. Or say you're working on a piece of equipment, you could stick it to that piece of equipment and your tools will stay in place. So the hole holder itself is going to be plastic. It's actually a fairly strong plastic, and they did a good job doing a rubber overmold at the top. So it does give you some comfort and relief. If you have a pegboard, you're going to have the ability to use these 2 pegboards up top to hold it from there. They did a nice DURATECH molding here. So not bad. And you can see as you go through on the sizing, it is all molded into the plastic. They do it in 2 places so you could see what your sizing is on the chart. And then it's worth noting on the back here, once again the part number, but this is manufactured by Hangzhou Great Star Industrial in Hangzhou, China. Makes this set for DURATECH. Alright, so that's the SAE. We're going to focus on mostly the millimeter set. So this is the box it comes in. The millimeter set comes in this nice little baby blue setup. You do get a thank you card inside here, as well as a little shopping brochure that goes with it. So all comes together in that nice little box. Now, when you look at the millimeter set, I'll go ahead and pull off the cover here. This cover is actually reusable too, so if you want to store it, of course, it does hold pretty tight down here at the bottom. So the clips stay in there, and as long as you just clip off the little security spots at the back, you can reuse that if you want to throw it in the back of your truck and make sure it doesn't go flying. Now, retention is pretty good still. You lock them in. They do hold fairly well, but it is nice that you could still reuse that cover and keep everything locked down. So again, much of the same information as we saw on the other one, and that part number. Now your sizing for this one is going to be identical to the USAG. It's going to be 8mm all the way up to 19mm, no skips. So that is really nice. You get every single size along the way to 19mm. Now for these ones, they are also going to be 12 point. So like the Craftsman that are 12 point, these will be matching that same 12 point setup. And then they'll also be like the Craftsman up here, in that they're going to be your typical flats, and they won't have that bolt removing technology. That's going to be similar to the RBRTs of the Mac or of the USAG. And that's likely for a reason, right? They don't have the patents or the rights to that technology, so they're going to continue with very much standard wrenches. Now, the look and feel of these, right? These are a little bit more muted, a little more dull in style. But if we look at the head here, you're going to have a stamped 16 on both sides, and there will be a 16 on this side, no stamp on the back side for that. And then you will have the forging for the DURATECH here, and the forging is there as well. And it has that I-beam kind of design. That's going to be similar to these. And we'll put them side by side here in just a moment. Now the finish I like, it's got that satin finish, which works really great when you have oily, projects that you're working on or grease. Satin tends to give you a better hold, better grip on these wrenches. Now overall fit and finish, comparatively speaking, let's put them side by side. So you've got the USAG, you've got the Craftsman, and you've got the DURATECH. Now when you look at those side by side, actually let's organize these a little bit here. Don't they look a lot alike? I mean, DURATECH has done a direct ripoff of these Stanley Black & Decker wrenches. And what they managed to do too, and this is the part that I find comical, is because, hey, this is a shorter Craftsman, and this is a long, a long handle, long reach USAG. When you put them nose to nose, guess what? It comes in the middle. So it's not short like the Craftsman is, but it's also not long like the USAG. It's kind of in between. And so they've actually done a good job extending out the Craftsman just a little bit to get the same result. And then they come over here, and this is the part that just boggles my mind. It's just crazy that they managed to completely copy the extended offset that's part of Craftsman, or part of Stanley Black & Decker. And it's got the same 15-degree offset. Stamping is similar. Even these indentations are getting pretty close. They just changed up the middle part of the beam. But they kept even this outlined protrusion on the head. And let's take a look at the thickness of the two. Almost the same thickness. A little bit thicker in this forging. And you feel it in the weight too. This feels heavier and heftier than this. These are almost the same weight. Yeah, very close in the same weight. Right, you got a lot more material in this, and these do a great job slimming off that weight. So that is what's unique about this setup, right? Is DURATECH managed to come in and virtually copy and steal the technology that was once part of Vacuum, USAG, Craftsman, and there are some others out there as well. But they've done it in their own way. Now, hardness of this, they say it goes upwards of 50 HRC, but it goes as low as 38, which is really not on the strong end. But so far in using it, I haven't had any problem. The beams are nice and straight. They've done a good job forging it for the most part. I mean, you can take a look at a couple of these. Take a look at a 10. I mean, they've done a good job. Now, where I want to say it gets a little bit, I want to say sloppy, but not as defined, is here in this broaching. It just, I don't know if they even broach it, to be honest, because that finish isn't as sharp or as abrupt as most wrenches are, right? You'll see those sharp lines and finishes, whereas this one just isn't like that. It's a little bit smoother looking, right? And this end here, this is where you can tell that it's not quite the same, right? This gives you the maximum tightness because that wall design is thin, whereas this one's kind of a little more standard. You still get the depth out of it, but if you get really tight tolerances, either the Craftsman or the USAG is going to do a better job in really tight tolerance areas. Yeah, other than that, fitment for this is going to be just as good. Like, it locks in there. And then the open end. It's like it's right there, right in line for tightness and efficiency. And that's also worth noting too. This is the rounded off nut that we did last video. Same thing, right? No grip. But if you do it on this end, it does grip. Now you may be asking yourself, well, why would I want a DURATECH? What's the benefit of buying this? I'm going to say it's price. So it's Chinese made, unlike the Taiwanese made. I love these. These are great sets. I would definitely get these sets if I was in your guys' position. But I'd also get these sets too because Right now, you can pick up this set for about $19. You get 12 wrenches, no skips, $19, and it's a good wrench. It's a good knockoff. I actually got lucky. This set goes on sale every once in a while. So right now, currently $19, but it'll go on sale for as low as, I think I paid $12.50 for this one. So super cheap. No brainer. Picking it up. Because the holder itself is worth the $12. Right? With all the tools on there. That's a great deal for just the carrying case. You know, if you're like me and you're looking for a reason to buy tools and throw something in your toolbox, take it to the junkyard, you're not going to get hurt losing $12 or $20 for a set like this. I mean, easy money, and it's a cool set. I mean, especially maybe you're on the fence about picking up either one of these two sets, right? $130 plus the case, $140 shipped, closer to $160, or $40 on sale, or $80 not on sale, $20. Yeah, if it's me, I'm buying this set. I'm keeping it. It's a good set. And just because it's Chinese doesn't mean it's bad. But yeah, it's a good knockoff. And I'd love to hear you guys' comments. Do you guys have a set like this? Did you know this even existed as a knockoff to these other sets? And what do you guys think? Would you buy this set for yourself? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and your comments down below. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.